Alright, puzzle 3, the blind maze. And I have to be honest, when I first looked at this puzzle, I had no idea what I was looking at. There's a grid full of colorful tangent lines, some weird symbols I've never seen before, and dots that look like they are from a different planet. But once you break it down layer by layer, it's actually a beautifully designed puzzle. So let's go through it together. The title is The Blind Maze, and the subtitle says What a Terrible Path. Blind Maze, Alternative Alphabets, Terrible Path. These are all hints. Keep them in mind. Now look at what the puzzle actually gives you. 3 separate lines of symbols above the grid, 3 different writing systems, and then a 6 by 6 grid full of colorful curved lines in 4 colors: blue, green, orange, and yellow. Let's understand what each of those 3 symbol lines is telling us. Okay, the puzzle title says Blind Maze. So before anything else, let me teach you something cool that this puzzle taught me. Most people know Braille, but there are actually multiple writing systems designed for blind or visually impaired people. This puzzle uses 3 of them as clues and a 4th one to encode the actual answer. Here are the 4 alphabets this puzzle uses: Braille, raised dots arranged in 2 by 3 grid; Quadoo, geometric shapes, triangles, squares; Elia, tactile symbols in square frames; Moon type, simplified raised line shapes. Now, let's just see the clue line 1, Braille. The first line above the grid is in Braille, the most famous alphabet for the blind. Each letter in Braille is a pattern of raised dots in a 2-column, 3-row grid. Different dot patterns equals different letters. If you translate those dots, they spell out, did you know there are alternative alphabets for the blind? This sentence is not just flavor, it's a direct instruction. It's telling you, hey, look up other alphabets for blind people. You're going to need them. This is your first breadcrumb. Then comes the clue line 2, Quadoo. The second line uses an alphabet called Quadoo. It uses geometric shapes like triangles, arrows, and angular lines, very different from Braille's dots. When you translate those Quadoo symbols, they say start blue A3. This is your navigation instruction. Think of the grid like a map. Columns are labeled A through F. Rows are labeled 1 through 6. So A3 means column A, row 3, top left area of the grid. And it says start blue, meaning at cell A3, find the blue line and follow it. Next comes the clue line 3, Elia. The third line uses an alphabet called Elia. It uses symbols that fit inside a square frame, designed to be filled by touch. Different marks inside the square equals different letters. When you translate those Elia symbols, they spell just one word, green. So now you have 3 instructions from 3 clues. Braille, there are alternative alphabets for the blind. Then Quadoo, start blue A3, where to begin in the grid. Elia, green, what to pay attention to on the path. You now have everything you need to navigate the maze. Now, let's see how we can follow the path. Okay, so let's go into the grid. The grid is 6 columns wide, A to F, and 6 rows tall, 1 to 6. Every cell has multiple color lines running through it: blue, green, orange, and yellow, all tangled and crossing each other like spaghetti. Quadoo told us start at A3, find the blue line there. So I go to cell A3, column A, row 3. I find the blue line entering that cell and I follow it. I stay on the blue line as it twists and curves and turns through cell after cell. The path is like a river. It flows continuously from one cell into another, into the next. Now, as I follow the blue path, I notice something. Some sections of the path are drawn in green instead of blue. They switch color briefly. And Elia already told us, green is what we care about. So every time the path turns green, I stop and pay attention. That green section is sitting inside a specific cell. That cell has coordinates like C2 or B1, and those green sections are drawn in a section alphabet called moon type. So here you can see how we are spotting the green sections. We're starting from at A3, and then we follow the blue line through the grid, and then when it turns green, that section includes a letter. And A3, let's say A3 coordinate is the starting point, then B3 where the blue line is still shows the path, and then C2 where we have the green uh, line, which is basically the moon type shape and representing a letter from the moon type alphabet. and then the C3 coordinate where we have the blue line again, and then B1 where we again get the moon type shape letter. Now the key insights are the green section are the letters. Those are drawn in moon type alphabet. Then each green curve or line shape equals one moon type character equals one letter. So we are going to collect all the green shapes in order and then translate from moon type and then spell the answer. So now we need to understand what is moon type. It's an alphabet invented in 1845 by William Moon, who lost his sight as an adult. He designed it so that blind people, especially those who lose their sight later in life, could read more easily than Braille. Moon type uses simplified shapes, curves, straight lines, corners. Each shape looks a bit like a simplified version of the regular letter it represents. For example, the open curve, it shows the letter C. And then three lines, those represent E letter. Then a line plus curve, that represents the R letter. And then a line with two bumps, that is representing the B letter. Then inverted V is basically representing A letter. And then a corner or a hook will represent a N letter. So reading the green shapes in order spells like spells the final answer. So the green moon type shape spelled cerebral. Cerebral. So let's let me walk through the entire solve from start to finish in one clean run. No confusion, just the steps. Number one, read the braille line. Translate the dots. Did you know there are alternative alphabets for the blind? And this is telling you the puzzle involves alphabets used by blind people. Go look them up. Then comes this number two. Read the quarter line. It translates the angular shapes and it basically tells start blue A3. Where it's telling where to start and which color line to follow in the grid. Number three. Read the Elia line and translate the square symbols to green. This tells you what to look for on the path. When the path turns green, pay attention. Number four, navigate the grid. Go to cell A3, find the blue line, follow it as it twists through the 6x6 grid. Every time the path turns green, note that shape. It's a moon type character. Number five, translate the green shapes using moon type. Look up moon type alphabet, match each green shape to its letter Cerebral. The answer is cerebral. So, the answer is cerebral, which means relating to the brain, intellectual, requiring thought. And honestly, that's the most perfect answer for this puzzle. Think about what you just had to do. You translated Braille, then Quadoo, then Elia, then navigated a maze, then identified moon type shapes. You used four different writing systems and your brain in overdrive. Cerebral. You had to be cerebral to solve it. The puzzle is literally named after the skill you need to solve it. Now let's do the 60-second recap. Puzzle 3, the blind maze, 3 clue lines using 3 alphabets for the blind, Braille, Quadoo, and Elia. They tell you respectively this puzzle uses blind alphabets. Start following the blue line at cell A3 and pay attention to the green sections. You then go into the 6x6 colorful grid. You start at A3, find the blue line, and trace it as it winds through the maze. Every time the path flashes green, you note that shape because those green segments are written in moon type, a 4-line alphabet. You collect all the green moon type shapes in order, you translate them, they spell Cerebral. So the final answer is cerebral. 4 alphabets, 1 maze, 1 very clever puzzle.